Ladies and gentlemen out there right now tonight, Tim, Greg again on behalf of CABA. Greg,
Good to see you again.
socially distanced.
As close as I get.
Okay, this segment here we're going to focus on one of the new programs that was a perfect industry educator partnership on behalf of CABA and the CCBC program. The MSI, Maryland State Safety Inspection, part of the Automotive Safety Enforcement Division, ASED. That was a really interesting one. You've actually, Greg, fellow CABA board member, huge asset to the organization with CABA. You actually were an expert witness at our state house for the transportation committee. You actually got up and provided expert testimony on behalf of the direction of the program and the state police. So, Greg.
Well, that was a great opportunity for the industry. I got a chance to represent the trade association, technicians, and as well as my students aspiring to be. Maryland Safety Inspection is a big deal for public safety. You know, Northeast has a lot of issue with frames and so forth, rust and so on, and people just neglecting their automobile, period.
Sure.
So as we were moving forward with that, we've partnered with ASED and their group of folks that were looking to enhance their training program for the Vehicle Safety Investigator program. They wanted to partner with a school, you get your credentialing, to say that their commander will be happy about how they're handling this, and we partnered with them. And what's the greatest thing is we came up with a curriculum, a 24-hour course, which Tim and, of course, Doug Meekins and his group came in, and they were the first part of the new 24-hour program.
The pilot.
The pilot. But you could call it that if you want, but we're looking at it at this point as the next steps. We have been working on this for 4 years.
Okay.
So we finally got it to a level to the point that we were ready to go ahead and launch the program. And Doug Meekins, the phone rings, Greg, I have a safety inspector, family emergency, I need one today. I've worked with other partners and I haven't really gotten what I look for. What we cover both is the handbook and as well as the hand-on practical part. And the point being is you're going to go to that Maryland Safety Inspection exam, written, and as well practical, and you're going to be ready because we partnered with ASED, and we are now as well, myself, being trained as a vehicle safety investigator. What has it done? It's allowed us to fast track you through good public safety, learning the COMAR handbook, learning the new laws and rules which are coming really soon. They're finishing up in Annapolis now. I've been a great opportunity to work with these folks to be on the cutting edge of this.
It's a great opportunity for the school too. Here
absolutely, and it's actually allowed our students to even have the opportunity to be a safety inspector prior to graduation. That's true. That's huge. That's a huge deal.
Two ones that I guess I'll cue you off for is in lieu of the 1-year experience, the respect that the CCBC program that you've really worked core to develop to what it is today, with obviously Jack Davis. We want to provide a shout out to Jack. I was over here helping you guys do an audit and all that.
Jack Davis is a great leader. I basically inherited the program from himself. You know, started in the 90s. I'm the caretaker to help keep it moving to the next level, and went through the program myself as an adult just to see what this was all about, and found out it was my next step. But the great part is that when I have an industry partner who wants to solve a problem, I had a solution for him.
You had both. Yep. So to stay on the ASED MSI program, you kind of had both. You had the state coming to you at the same time that a lot of industry partners were also. So you kind of sat at the middle ground, and you struck a really good balance. I've even in lieu of experience, the 1 year through the CCBC program, they can come out of one of your are they 2-year programs?
Most are 2 if you're a full-time student. It usually takes about 3 if you're part-time.
Okay. So out of the 2-year program, they're willing to allow hopefully allow the licensed inspector coming out of the program. At the same time, the other one is being able to do the hands-on portion to accelerate that for the businesses. Usually the state troopers would need to go out to all the different locations, correct?
That's correct.
And what they're going to do is streamline the certification process here in conjunction with you, hopefully, and set the stands up and get everything done.
That's the goal. What we have come up with is a procedure of best practices.
Sure.
And then you just went through the best practices, also going with the part of the hands-on component to prepare you for your hands-on practical part that you get a 4-hour window to complete that in. We've created an actual step-by-step 5 workstations that you can get credentialed here at CCBC. If we didn't have the issues we've challenged with over since March, is that we would have actually back in business of getting credentialed here at CCBC. That's the next step. So what the cool part is now we have something to solve the issue of technician deficits with safety inspectors and all about the public safety. And you well know, there's a lot of cars out there that get neglected. And this is a great way to get our new technicians in with minimal training with maximum results. And it's awesome how it works, but you can come out of here when we move forward with ASED and opening that back up, just like what you went through is the same thing that we're going to offer our students and every industry provider that wants to get on board for a fast track and with great results.
It's just definitely it's a game-changing add-on to
Absolutely.
an already solid foundation program. Yeah, definitely. I've worked hard to have to sell the MSI program to some businesses that weren't
Sure.
doing it prior. At the same time, from the division side, the ASED folks, as they've digitized and modernized the safety inspection program and the administration of it, there's also been a lot of shops that have fallen out of the program or they're struggle finding the numbers, thus their need to come to you. I've had to work really hard to sell it to, facilities that were fine not doing inspections, but why they should want to take an interest in the public safety. It's an extra add-on for their techs, and it just definitely contributes. It standardizes. Maryland's in a direction, and you correct me if I'm wrong because you're definitely more on the front lines of it, but Maryland's kind of more in a position of they're getting back up to speed with some other surrounding states. There's a lot of variance in different vehicle inspection programs in different states, even the ones immediately surrounding Maryland where we sit today. Would you say that we're ahead, behind? I don't want you to, be, however you want to articulate that, but where do you feel that it's going? And then maybe just talk to the different states and the streamlining.
I look at it as setting the standard. It has set the standard of what we look at for one, public safety, and in the business world, it can create you the revenue as you're taking care of public safety, but then also there's revenue generating out of a big investment, especially for their technicians and the responsibilities of being a safety inspector. It's a huge, huge responsibility of putting a car on the road safely with your signature. And that's what you're talking about, the electronics.
It's another thing to take pride in.
Absolutely. And one thing about it is you can have your customers come in, be at one stop. When we get this, as we move forward with this, our service providers can gain from this. And you always have a new generation of folks come in and have a backup for your safety inspector. You really need to have everybody you can in your shop.
It's a team effort.
Absolutely.
As we've realized they'll, as they come out and they certify the facility, they dedicate bays. It's clearly a team approach. That you want the whole. The program works best in a place of business when the whole facility buys in.
When you have the safety division, automotive safety enforcement, your education and good partners in the educational system, and especially outside. Ultimately, we're here to help you in the public. That's what we're doing.
Joined in the program we've described.
Right. When yourself went through with Doug Meekins with the phone call, you jumped on board with us to get a class filled. It worked out great for everybody. You passed the exam, correct? Waiting on your credentialing.
It was a tough one for somebody with as much test experience as I've had. It was definitely not. It was not easy. Somebody has to want to do that, and it goes back to pride they take in the profession of being a top tier car mechanic, a vehicle safety inspector, and all the like. Greg, on that note, we're going to move you guys on to another segment if you want to stay with Greg and I. But 2020 here, November. Thank you very much for joining us, Tim and Greg, on behalf of CABA. Thank you.
Thanks.